Hey everybody, I want to talk about some of the stuff that happened yesterday a little more. Man, what a horrible fucking day it was to be a Destiny fan. I want to give you a little bit of history before we really get started. That way you can understand why I reacted the way I did yesterday and why I'm going to react this way in this video, because this game really means a lot to me. So I got into it. One of my closest friends, or not closest, he is my closest friend. Um, he got me into Destiny when the Taken King came out in 2015. I was 15 years old. I was a freshman in high school. I was really like for years at that point, ever since like fourth grade, I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues. I still am, and it was a horrible fucking time. I always tried to fit in by going out and you know riding BMX bikes or scooters or skateboards, and I sucked at them, and I was anxious whenever I did it because I have anxiety disorder, and it sucked. I hated doing it, but I did it because those were the only friends I had. But he got me into the Taken King when it first launched. I got the Legendary Edition, September 15th, 2015, and it was really, that game changed my fucking life, like fundamentally changed it. No longer was I going outside and doing all this, what people would consider to, and this sounds bad, but it's really good from my perspective because it helped me a lot. It helped me as a person. It sounds bad, because all of a sudden, oh, you became a shut-in, you're just playing video games all the time. But I found something that I really love to do, and I honestly think if I didn't find this game, if my friend didn't get me into this game, I probably would have killed myself like years ago. And I know that sounds like a joke, but like I actually think that I would have been in that position, like so depressed. I had no reason to live. There was nothing to look forward to. I had no reason to be here. Like this gave me an escape. It gave me, you know, really. I mean, I've been playing video games since I was like 2 or 4, but this was the first game I really, really got into, and it was the first game that I really felt that sense of escapism with. And yeah, it's meant a lot to me over the years. It's really helped me, through high school. The worst times of my life was in high school, and this year has been, I would say, the worst year of my entire life. I haven't really talked about it too much on here, but I mean, it's been non-stop, just hitting me while I'm already down, and then things get better, and then I get slammed on the fucking head again. And it's really been a rough year. It's been a horrible fucking year for me in so many ways. But even this game, to some extent, has helped me this year because I have played it quite a bit this year, even though Lightfall sucked balls. Um, it sucks ass to see the game that you love and that you hold so dearly just crumble in front of your fucking eyes like this, man. And I know for some people this won't seem like that big of a deal, but for me it is, because one aspect that I always held so dearly when it came to Destiny was the art and the music, particularly the music. The music was the shit that I have always adored about Destiny. And it's one of the, Michael Salvatore is one of the composers, I would say, him, Tom Holkenberg, or Junkie XL, and Hans Zimmer. I think those guys really got me into, Lauren Both as well, really got me into music composition. They're the ones who, when I listened to their music and I enjoyed it so much, and I think Destiny was really the start of that, when it really got me into orchestral music, and I could never fucking thank, like, Michael and Marty O'Donnell like enough for their work in the Halo games and Destiny 1 Vanilla with Marty, and how amazing that was, and Michael continuing the legacy throughout the years. Yesterday was fucking heartbreaking for me, man. It was so fucking. I'm like, it sounds like I'm on the verge of tears right now, but like, it was so fucking heartbreaking to see that this guy who, I mean, he was inevitably going to retire probably in like a year or two. But to see him get fucked over so hard, not just him, there's Michael Sekris, I believe is how you say his name as well, which he's worked on a bit of stuff as well. Although admittedly he's not quite, that forefront kind of figure. And I believe, I forget the other guy's name, it was like Sky something, I believe his name was. That guy's also been a huge part of Destiny. Luckily he's still, working at Bungie as far as I know, but A lot of developers that I loved, and knew, and people just at Bungie in general. I mean, I didn't know them, but I knew about them and I followed them on, over the years. Um, they're gone, and I really think this is gonna fuck the game going forward. For me, at least, it's gonna really fuck it up. Um, my morale for the game has never been lower. I don't think the community morale has ever been this low. And I'm sure the game will be fine. I don't think it's going to be, I think a lot of us had more hope 2 days ago than we do now. In terms of just the future of the game, because now they've lost a lot of employees. The employees there, no doubt about it, have a low morale, which means bad work. If your workers all have low morale, you're not going to get the same kind of quality out of them. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like that's not how it works. So that is inevitably going to happen. This affects everybody, man. It's not just the employees. It's not just like the higher end or whatever, the money or whatever the fuck. This affects everyone who plays the game. Everyone who worked on the game. Like, this affects everybody. And it's fucked all across the board for the players, but especially the employees. I don't think it's a bad thing to talk about the game and what it means for the game, because at the end of the day, that's how we got into the game. We're players, like we're players, so it means something to us that the game is still going to be good, right? But it also can mean the employees at the same time. I think both of those can coexist with one another. I saw some people on Twitter being like, I can't believe you're complaining about the game, to another guy, and I was like, the fuck are you talking about? But I just wanted to mention that. I feel like it isn't like there shouldn't be like tribalism going on right now. This should just be about the game and the employees, because the employees worked on the game, we play the game. It's about everybody. It's about everything with this, I hate how we're turning this into like a side kind of thing, like we're taking sides or whatever. I saw some people do that, and it just pissed me off when I saw that. But yeah, it really like crushed me, man. Like before Salvatore, before I heard about that, I was already like, fuck, like I've lost, I don't even really know if I want to play Festival of the Lost now, but I saw Salvatore and I was like, I don't even want to play this fucking game anymore, man. Like, I don't want to. And it's not necessarily because of the fact that I think it will be bad in the future, but seeing some of the aspects that I love the most being torn away for some upper management bullshit right in front of my eyes just makes me not want to play. The game could be fun. I could have fun with the game or whatever, but it's like I don't want to play the game, and I can't like quite pinpoint the reason why, honestly. I just don't want to play it. I lost motivation to play the game. I don't want to grind Festival of the Lost now. And what's funny is 2 days ago I was really enjoying Festival of the Lost. I was playing a bunch of it. I was planning on really grinding for that memento. And it's funny how within just a few hours yesterday, all that got crushed. I don't want to play Festival of the Lost. I don't want to play this season. I don't want to play the next season. I'll probably still play the final shape, because that's sort of the end to this sort of storyline that part of my childhood was, for a few years there. And it just like, honestly, man, it's so demoralizing to be a fan of this game in so many ways. And this fucking sucks, dude. Like, it really fucking sucks. And there's a lot of implications that come out of this. There's a lot of fucking implications. I think you can go way more than just, the music will be worse, and I don't think the music's gonna be bad. Like I said, God, I forget the guy's name, I'm sorry, but it's Sky something, and he's worked on Destiny for a long time. I think all the way since like Taken King or Rise of Iron is when I saw him on the soundtrack cover. He might have even worked on D1 Vanilla, and before that, I don't really remember, but he's been a big part of it, right? He's been at the forefront for a lot of songs too. He's still there. But the fact that Salvatore is gone, right, is just like a huge blow. And it just is, I don't know. I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of what I have to say. I just don't want to play the game anymore. Like, I don't want to make content about the game anymore, even though I didn't really do much in the first place. I just don't... This really just killed my faith. And you know what is even worse? That Paul Tassi tweeted out just a little bit ago. is that he has some sources on the inside, which is believable because he's like, the main Destiny journalist. There's not a lot of journalists, that are as big as him when it comes to Destiny, and so he had 3 pinpoints here. So one is the layoff decisions came directly from Bungie management. And I feel like this was kind of obvious in a lot of ways. Even though I still had belief that Sony was I couldn't like bring myself to believe that Bungie would do this to Salvatore and all these different senior employees, like in Liana Rupert. I mean, it hasn't been there for like a super long time, right? But she was a very valuable part of the just the community as a whole, So yeah, this came from Bungie management, not Sony. This is not about Sony replacing Bungie employees with their own people. The second point is many employee benefits. This part is so fucked. Many employee benefits, though not health insurance, only last until the end of the month. So that being the very last day of the month. You know what day they let them go on? October 30th. That means they have 1 day left of that coverage, which is, I mean, that's fucking evil, dude. That's fucking evil. That's so fucked up in so many ways. Now, you want to hear the absolute worst part of this that is like so fucking insane. So many employees had unvested shares as a result of these Sony purchases. I would imagine a lot of the senior employees had quite a bit of it, and we're hopefully going to make a decent amount of money off of it. These shares, and not like the upper end management. I'm just talking about the people who've been there for a while, like Salvatore, Griffin Bennett. People like that, and these shares will be received based on staying with the company for a certain number of years following the sale, right? So after the Sony sale. But if you quit or if you get fired or whatever, if you leave the company in any sort of way, the shares will go back to Bungie if you leave. So all of those people who were gonna get money from it are fucked. All of it goes back to Bungie, which is like fucking insanity. Like, these people worked for so long and they got fucked, dude. They all got fucked. We all got fucked. Like, it's fucking insane, man. And it pisses me off just to read this shit. And it's like, it's unfucking believable, dude. Like, it's just crazy, because for a while, obviously this is how the corpo world is, it's full of a bunch of fucking scumbags. But like, Bungie was what was different, for a lot of us. Like, we thought Bungie was different in a lot of ways, and to just see this happen and to just see like they're just like the rest of them. I mean, it breaks my fucking heart, man. It really fucking does. It sucks so much ass to see this, and I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to be a fan of this game. I feel disgusted looking at the thing on Steam, I feel disgusted looking at my PlayStation Home menu. Like, I don't want to play this game. And I suggest a lot of people who play the game, you look for some alternative to play going forward. I'm not going to be like, hey, if you play the game, you're a piece of shit. I'm just saying from a gamer perspective, I have a feeling this game is not going to be very high quality after the final shape. Like, even if you don't consider it very high quality right now, the quality is inevitably going to go down, because the very few amount of people that were still at Bungie working on Destiny that have been there for a while, ever since D1, a good amount of them are gone now, so really, even if they were to bring in new blood and all that, the game is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the game that we love. It's going to be some fucking reanimated husk of its former self. And so that's the video, man. This fucking sucks. I'm just so heartbroken and pissed off at this, and it really is just such a fucking tragedy to see it crumble and end like this, at least for me. Yeah, peace.